Augustia. In this video, I want to give some updates about the video series I created called How to Create Your Dream Life and share some of what's been going on in my life. And before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Lena, who recently left a comment on How to Create Your Dream Life Part 1 video, which really inspired me. And because of Lena sharing her feedback, it inspired me to share some of what's going on with my life, some of the updates. Lena shared a fantastic update in her own life from doing what I was passing along. So, before I start sharing the techniques and stuff like this, I want to share some of the updates. So, I've been primarily focusing on financial growth, financial stability, and not just anything, but making passive income that I don't have to work for, completely passive, work-free, effort-free income that allows me to live a life that I don't have to work in order to make money, and I can focus my time and energy, my emotions, my passions on doing stuff that I love, which in this case happens to deal with travel and perhaps even moving to a different part of the world. And I can share stuff. A lot of it's still in the air, but let me share some of the physical stuff, what's going on. So what's happened, I've been able to increase my passive income from approximately $1,700 to soon to be $3,300 and then $3,600. I have 3 new opportunities to increase that even further with a sum total of approximately $90,000+ per year of pure tax-free passive income. Now I have to jump through some hoops, which I'm in the process of doing some actual boots on the ground, but what's been happening is after my meditations in the morning, I start getting ideas. For example, the other day I was doing the meditation, which I'm going to share in a few moments. And I came out of the meditation and I had a thought come in. Hey, it was something like, go check this. And why I knew it came from above or outside of my conceptual lexicon, if you will, is because I didn't have a concept to go look at this particular thing. It was a certain, let's just say it was a certain organization. It was I got the name of this organization that popped in my brain, and it was something that came out of the blue. It's like I wasn't thinking about this organization. There was nothing that I've seen recently that was talking about it passively or subliminally. It just popped in, and so I went and looked at it, and turns out, hey, there's another $1,600+ per month that you can make, and all you have to do is do this. And I found that out after doing some research on it. And like this whole money thing that started out with, if you haven't seen my past videos, How to Create Your Dream Life, this started about, I don't know, months ago, end of last year, where I wrote down on a piece of paper, I am making a certain amount of money per week passively. A week or two later, I had left my job that I had worked for 10+ years in a very awkward way that was in a way that I had nothing lined up to go from. I just lost my job. What am I going to do with all my bills? I don't know. And somehow this stuff started rolling in. So it's continuing to progress to going from like around about $3,000+ of income per month, which 2,400 of it, which or more, I had to actually work for. Only about, I think, around 1,700 or so was passive, to now going to approximately 90,000+ a year passive, which a lot of it isn't coming yet. I'm going to the 33 and 36, which is coming in, and then I'm going for the 45. But I have all the steps in front of me. It's just a matter of me putting the boots in the ground, which I'm adamantly doing at this time. So what have I been doing? This is what I want to share in this video, and I want to pass this along. And with the caveat, if I'm using that word correctly, or the preface, there's a lot of techniques out there, and don't get yourself caught up or confused with trying to incorporate all these different things. You just want to take what works and discard the rest. So if you feel called to do something, or maybe you experiment and said, oh, that felt really good when I did that, that's a sign. Keep indulging that. Just do what you can and don't try to incorporate everything. So I'm going to share what's working for me, what I've been doing, and you take it if you want to. If you want to experiment, that's great. If not, whatever you're doing is working now. Keep doing it. I don't want to derail you. So the whole point in here is, don't focus on the how, the medium through which you get the effect. The important thing is focus on the effect, and how it happens. That's up to everyone individually. So what I've been doing recently is Couple things. Mainly is the ah, working with the sound ah and the ah meditation. There's two parts. There's ah meditation extended in the morning and evening, and then there's the in between the meditation, which is really powerful as well. They're both very, very important. So what I will do is, now if you don't know the ah meditation, go on YouTube and type in Dr. Ply ah meditation. And there's, I think, 3 or 4 different videos. Go watch all of them where he gives you the initiation. And you listen to the guided meditation and follow along with it. And that's, he's putting it into you, and so you can go and use it on your own. Very, very powerful. And so the ah meditation is taking this sound ah. Now, if you don't know about ah, I just made a video about this also recently called the number 1 alpha sound, I think is what it's called. This sound ah comes from the sound om. Om is the most powerful, fundamental. Why is it most powerful? It's the fundamental sound from which all the sounds come from. All the sounds are what's behind the entire world. Everything here is a sound wave, string theory. Om is the ultimate sound. And of Om, there's several sounds. There's ah, u, ma. Ah is the first of Om. So ah is like the primordial, the alpha and the omega. Ah is alpha. And ah is the sound that was used to create everything. Everything comes from this ah sound. So there's a way of using ah where you take it up from your root chakra up to your third eye, and you visualize what you want to experience, and then you let it go. You cook it with the sound ah and let it go. Now watch the meditation. I've been doing that morning and in evening. First thing I wake up, I do that, and then in the evening. Now in between, during the day, I'm using a technique I've shared in the past, which is throughout the day, and I say throughout the day, at least I'm doing this once an hour. Usually it's multiple times an hour. Usually it's like every 10 minutes I've been up to. Like sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes I'm holding on to it for extended period of time. What I will do is I will either go back to the third eye, which is, here's your pituitary is between the 2 eyebrows. You go 1 inch up, you have your pineal gland, which this reflexology point, subtle nervous system. When you use this here or you tap it, you are activating the pineal gland. It's connected. And this is connected to your pituitary. So I will go up and visualize a spot, just this whole little line. And I actually have been able to visualize a vertical eye. This just came to me one day. A vertical eye here open up. And then inside that eye, I will put the thought, I am making X amount of money per month or per week or whatever it is. I've been now focusing on per month. I will talk about that now. I'm reminded. I will talk about it after this. I am making X amount of money per month. And then I'll put ah, and I'll just think the sound ah. Sometimes I'll hold on to it even with my eyes open as I'm walking around. Sometimes I'll do it and I'll drop it. What I do though is I do that, and then I feel the sound here, the thought, and then I let the thought wash over me where I'm now living in that reality. It's like the person who's making that money is now me. And I can do this in about 30 seconds, and I've made videos about this as well. So you just tap, you can tap, or if you don't want to tap, you can just visualize. Tapping is ideal. And just put the thought and the sound. It can be done in about 30 seconds, okay? I do this multiple times, and this is just reinforcing, strengthening. Remember, you're building memory in advance. That's what manifestation is. Manifestation means building memory in advance. Acknowledging that everything in your reality now, circumstances, everything is simply an effect of the memory or information you are storing within your body, mind, etc. It's all the same thing, just different subtle layers to it. But at the most gross level, it's represented as your physical body. And the subtle level, it's your mind. It's one and the same thing. When you want to manifest, that is, in the context of create something outside of your norm, you have to build the memory for that in advance. Put it inside of you first and focus on the inside. Don't try to work in the outside world. That's very difficult and may not even guarantee anything. If you want to do something, focus on the inside. If you want to put in the work, putting in the work means inside work. Inside work is everything. So you are strengthening this. So what I found is my experience is the morning meditation. When I spend extended time doing this in the third eye, I found that my third eye is becoming more and more active in the sense of it's easier for me to feel this part of my brain, my body. At first, it's like you kind of have to you could feel the tension and all this. And now it's a point where I can really just sink into it. And that's just a matter of hammering it. What you do is the more you focus on something, the more it's going to become active. And the more consistent you focus on something, the more it's going to stay active, and it comes to a point where it remains active, and that's the goal. And so the morning and the evening meditations are very much facilitating this deep experience of putting the thought deep, 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 and also activating this part. So during the day, now it's the point where I feel my third eye and the thought's already there. It's like the thought just remains there because it's so imprinted there. Okay? So these are very, very important, and it's not hard. You do a extended meditation morning, extended in the evening, and then throughout the day. It's just a matter of you putting in that work, which is the inner stuff, and watching it all happen. And you know what? It's worth it because a few months here, a few months there, but I'm setting myself up for life. Once this, and I didn't mention another thing. The way that these hoops I have to go through, I'm talking to lawyers and all this stuff, it's looking all but guaranteed I'm going to be looking at 6 figures of back pay, and it might even be multiple 6 figures. We're looking at 11 to 12 years of back pay from 2 different sources, at least. So these things work, and it's taken me, I started this last year, so we're looking at maybe, I don't know what, 8 months, 7-8 months. By the end of this year, it's going to be, who knows what it's going to be at. So I just wanted to pass this along with the intention of inspiring, and I did say I want to talk about a couple more things. I think I will save that for a second video, a part 2, because this video is getting very long. So look out for a part 2 where I'm going to talk about practical manifestation goals, and I'm going to talk about the sun and moon meditation and stopping time. Okay.